Adaba 88.9 FM, your go-to station.
It's 3 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Adeola Adekunle with Adaba News at 3 in the news. President Tinubu pays condolence visit to Owo and Akeredolu's family. Cooking gas price rises by 12% in 1 year. Joint Task Force seizes over 500,000 liters of diesel in rivers.
This is the news.
President Tinubu has sympathized with the people of Owo over the death of the late Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu during a condolence visit to the Olowo of Owo, Oba Gbadegeshin Ogunye. The president describes the demise of Akeredolu as overwhelming tragedy that is shocking beyond comprehension. On his part, the Olowo of Owo, Oba Gbadegeshin Ogunye, hailed the presidential condolence visit of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Owo. The monarch said the visit shows that the president still identifies with them despite the death of the late governor.
The president came to commiserate with us, to give his condolences in respect of the demise of the immediate past governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Odunayo, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, SCN, CON. Mr. President being a very passionate person who cares for the people. During the burial, he had sent the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, to be here to represent him, and he represented him well, but still found it necessary to be here to talk to us, to commiserate with us, to give us words of encouragement, in Ondo State and in our in particular. That's just it, and we thank him profusely for that. He's a very caring president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Olowo of Owo, who prayed for President Tinubu's continued success, urged him not to forget the town whenever there is opening for events that will be beneficial to our kingdom. President Tinubu also visited the late governor's residence to commiserate with the family and provide them a comforting word. Tinubu is also expected to visit the national leader of the Pan-Yoruba socio-political group Afenifere, Pa Reuben Fashoranti, in Akure. President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that the economic situation will improve. President Tinubu spoke on the prospect of economic recovery as workers staged protests in state capitals and the Federal Capital Territory over the high cost of living. He urged citizens not to despair, saying things will get better. House of Representatives Speaker Tajuddin Abbas urged Nigerians to exercise patience and cooperate with the government in its bid to effectively implement the economic reforms that will soothe the pains. In the meantime, the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has given federal government a fresh 14-day ultimatum for the full implementation of the earlier agreement of October 2 last year and other demands. NLC President Joe Ajaero made the announcement on Tuesday night after suspending its 2-day protest across the country over the pains triggered by the various reforms introduced by the government. In a communique at the end of its National Executive Council meeting, the Labour said the suspension was based on the fact that the street action achieved overwhelming success. However, the union made a 17-point demand to President Bola Tinubu to assuage the poverty, hunger, and mass suffering inflicted on the citizens by the policies of the federal government. The agenda includes reopening of land borders to allow food, cement, and other essentials coming, immediate removal of the collection of levies, fees, dues, and tolls from petty traders across the nation by local and state governments, reversal and suspension of further increases in school fees across the nation, and direct all state governments to immediately pay all owed wages, wage awards, allowances, gratuities, and pensions, among others. A report just reaching us says that President Bola Tinubu has arrived at Akure, Ondo State capital, on a courtesy visit to the leader of Afenifere Pa, Reuben Fashion-Rotimi. Presidential chopper landed at Ijapo School Field at exactly 2:17 this afternoon, where he proceeded to visit the leader of Afenifere. Journalists were denied entry to capture the discourse in the closed-door meeting, but journalists cited former governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Mimiko, Olufalaye, Deji of Akure Oba Ladetoyinbo Ogunlade, former Secretary General Afenifere, Bashorun Shende Arogbofa, and other top government functionaries while entering. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has said the price of the liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, otherwise known as cooking gas, increased by 12% from 4,589 naira in 1 year. The statistics was revealed in a newly released report by the agency. The report comes on the heels of rising cost of living across the country that saw inflation rise by 29.9% in January. The report, titled Liquefied Petroleum Gas Price Watch, said while the price of a 5 kg cooking gas went from 4,589 naira in January 2023, the average retail price for refilling a 5 kg cylinder increased by 3.5% on a month-on-month basis from 4,963 naira recorded in December 2023 to 5,139 naira in January 2024. You're listening to Adaba News at 3 on 88.9 FM Akure, transmitting from Ilaramokin. After the break, Joint Task Force seizes over 500,000 liters of diesel in rivers. Details in the second part of the bulletin. Join us again.
Warm greetings from Achievers University, Owo, a private university with distinction. Achievers University's motto is knowledge, integrity, and leadership. At Achievers University, we have diligently pursued its objectives with a clear understanding of its implication. At Achievers University, we honestly impact knowledge on our students and pursue all we do with a sense of integrity, thereby preparing our students for the position of a higher task, that of being the future hope and leaders of the society. Our mission to be the best university is very clear and achievable. With a very high sense of responsibility, we know we're on course. We appreciate all our parents and the government, the press and the society at large for your support, and we assure you that by the grace of God, we shall achieve greatness and you'll be very proud of us. Achievers University, knowledge, integrity and leadership.
Glad to have you back for news, update and live streaming. Visit our website www.adaba889.fm or download Adaba FM app on Google Play Store. You can be part of us on our social media platforms www.facebook.com/AdabaFM88.9 on Facebook, at Adaba889FM on Instagram and X, and Adaba FM TV on YouTube. You can also provide us information via email, newsroom@adaba889.fm. Until the rest of the bulletin, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has said that the federal government won't retrench workers. This follows anxiety over the implementation of Steve Oronsai's report. He said the mergers on some parastatals is meant to ensure efficiency in the civil service and save costs. Idris, who spoke at the ministerial press briefing series in Abuja, said some of the merged or scrapped agencies are redundant or have outlived their usefulness. The minister insisted that Idris, who spoke at the ministerial press briefing series in Abuja, said some of the merged or scrapped agencies have outlived their usefulness. The minister insisted that the government did its homework before coming up with its decisions on Oronsai's report. Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last election, Peter Obi, has applauded the move by President Bola Tinubu and the federal government to adopt implementation of the Steve Oronsai's report. In a statement on Wednesday, the former Anambra governor asserts that implementing the report is one of the best ways to make governance efficient, cost-effective, and productive. He emphasized that beyond implementing the Oronsai report, the government should go further and cut the cost of governance across board. Meanwhile, human rights lawyer Femi Falana has described the Oronsai report as outdated, saying the report will not guarantee a reduction in the cost of governance. And now the Senate has approved President Bola Tinubu's request to sack the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission Executive Vice Chair, Babatunde Irukera. In a letter read at the plenary by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, the President has demanded for the sack of Irukera based on inefficiency. In January, Tinubu had sacked Irukera on the Director General CEO of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Mr. Alexander Oko, with immediate effect. But report says the president needed the approval of the National Assembly before the sack would take effect. The Joint Task Force, JTF, says it intercepted over 500,000 liters of automotive gas oil, also known as diesel, in Rivers State. The JTF commander of SAF Operations Delta Save, Rear Admiral John Okeke, said the product was seized during Operation Delta Save, where 2 vessels were arrested in connection to the crime. Okeke stated that 17 suspects have also been arrested at the One Anchorage for not having authorized documents from the Nigerian Navy. The JTF commander of SAF Operations Delta Save, Operation Delta Save, therefore advised those engaging in illegal activities in the region to desist and engage in legitimate trade. And now, to end Adaba News at 3, a recap of our top stories. We told you that President Bola Tinubu has sympathized with the people of Owo and late Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's family during his condolence visit to Ondo State. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics has said the price of the liquefied petroleum gas, otherwise known as cooking gas, increased by 12% from 4,589 naira in 1 year. And we told you that the Joint Task Force has said it has intercepted over 500,000 liters of automotive gas oil, also known as diesel, in Rivers State. That's Adaba News at 3. It was edited by Olasukomi Ilujoba. I'm Adeola Adekunle. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.